This is the Washington Times front page for Thursday, August 25th, 2022. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. The Biden administration is inching closer to restarting a nuclear deal with Iran. Ben Wolfgang reports the U.S. had delivered a written response to Iran as the two sides wrangled over the details of a proposal to revive the Obama-era deal. That 2015 pact limited Iran's nuclear program in exchange for economic sanctions relief. President Trump removed the U.S. from the deal in 2018 and reimposed harsh economic sanctions. Iran responded by boosting activities that critics say put it even closer to getting a nuclear bomb. The latest proposal was put forward by the European Union and billed as the final draft of the agreement, though the written responses from the two countries suggest that negotiations will continue. A deal still hasn't reached the finish line after Iran reportedly dropped several of its most problematic demands, including that the U.S. lift its designation of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps as a foreign terrorist organization. Florida Democratic gubernatorial nominee Charlie Crist has a new campaign pitch, telling voters he can stop Republican Ron DeSantis from becoming president in 2024 by denying him a second term as Florida's governor. National political reporter Susan Ferricchio reports the tactic could energize Florida Democrats to turn out at the polls in November and attract nationwide donors who see DeSantis as a significant threat and are willing to help fund Crist's campaign. Democrats are eager to oust the Florida governor. His national popularity is rising, and polls show him as a top contender for the Republican presidential nomination in 2024. Crist is one of many Democrats that are buoyed by recent primary success. Democrats hope Pat Ryan's unexpected win in a special election to fill a vacant House seat in New York's 19th congressional district is another sign that predictions for their demise in November aren't that stark. Senior congressional correspondent Kerry Pickett reports top analysts downgraded the outlook for Republicans in the midterms and said Democrats may even hang on to their slim majority after Ryan's surprise win over Republican Marcus Molinaro. The nonpartisan Cook Political Report lowered its forecast for Republican gains in the House. Senior editor Dave Wasserman said they've lowered their number to a 10 to 20 seat GOP win, with a slim Democratic majority not out of the question. You can read all of these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. You can also find the entire lineup of Washington Times podcasts at WashingtonTimes.com/podcasts. President Biden's string of legislative victories has cooled anxious chatter within the Democratic Party about his intention to seek re-election, but political strategists remain divided on how long the reprieve will last. Joseph Clark reports some analysts say the wins rallied Democrats who were on the fence about the president's re-election bid. At the beginning of this month, heading into the congressional recess, Biden signed into law several priorities, including Democrats' long-stalled $740 billion climate and energy spending bill. A number of polls has found that increasing numbers of parents want the right to choose schools for their children as they seek alternatives to public education. Culture reporter Sean Salai reports data from the Harris Poll and the National Alliance for Public Charter Schools found that 86% of parents want options beyond the traditional public schools their children are zoned to attend. The national survey of more than 5,000 parents found that more than a fifth had pulled their children out of public schools as local school districts shut down and most instruction was conducted online during the COVID-19 pandemic. And finally, former acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolfe joined commentary editor Kelly Sadler on the latest Politically Unstable podcast. He criticized current DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, saying that lawmakers who would want to impeach him have a very strong case. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in your favorite podcast app. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. The Washington Times. I'm George Gerbo.